Hey guys, it's Ellen here and welcome to my channel. Today we're working on like a little fun, little fence in the field vignette. I go over everything step by step. You know, it's pretty simple. You don't really need a traceable for this one. You do need some masking fluid for the vents. So, you know, we're going to be splattering paint, putting wet on wet, just having some fun. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon. On Thursdays, I have exclusive tutorials and traceables that go with the tutorials, as well as ad-free videos from my YouTube and traceables that go with my YouTube. So it's just another place where people can go and support my channel, which I appreciate so much. And don't forget to hit the bell notification button to know my tutorial is up. So without further ado, let's get painting. All right, to start with, I'm going to go over supplies. I have a piece of Arch 100% cotton cold pressed paper. It's this green pad here. It's a 9x12. Paper towels. I have my palette, my paints. I'll go over them as I use them. Water jars, brushes. And I also just use masking fluid for this one. If you didn't have that, you can always just kind of put gouache in for the fence later. Basically just doing these little lines with the fence, kind of, and it gets smaller as they go this way, right? So smaller coming here. And I just drew a line for like the hill going here and whatnot. And you can just have a small bit of the ocean back here going like that. So we're going to have fun just painting really loose. Once you do the, once you paint down your masking fluid, I have the PBO here, and I have a link in the description box where you can get that. I just use a crappy brush and just painted some stripes right here, like you see that. Very simple. Now, you could have a line here going across, and you can put an ocean back here, or I think I'm going to do, oop, my paintbrush just went flying. Oh goodness, everything's going all over the place. I'm just going to put like another mountain of grass kind of over here, like a hill, you know, a small little hill. Now see how I made that mistake? I just got something on my finger on the water paper. I'm going to take some water. I'm just going to lift up this color real quick. Kind of fix this mess that just happened. And brush. And then grab my paper towel and just clean that as fast as you can. There you go. All right, we don't really need to deal with that part right now anyway. So now you got the fence in there. I have cadmium yellow deep. I have a bunch of blues, and I have some crimson. So I have peacock blue, Prussian blue, indigo blue here. And we're just going to take a big brush, whatever big brush you have. We're going to have fun with this. I have a Princeton Neptune number 6. And I'll take the yellow. I'm going to have to probably use some more yellow here. Cadmium yellow deep. And I'll grab some peacock. A little more yellow than blue, so I would say like 90% yellow and like 10% blue. And we're going to get really loose and wet. And we're just going to wash in some green right in here, this fence. Going to have fun. You can go kind of tight with the line of where the actual hill is. But the rest of it, start getting loose. Start getting loose. So we're going to just get that real bright green chartreusey color in here. And then going down the hill, we're just going to tap it, like sporadically like this. We're not going to be painting the whole picture with the hill. We're not going to paint this whole thing here. We're just going to paint this vignette of this field with the fence. So at this point, I might grab some Prussian blue, mix it in. I might need some more yellow. You can kind of tap in that color. Grab some crimson, gets it a little darker. See, because my tip of my brush, just kind of tapping in some of that color. If it's too watery, you can take off some excess. Just like that. I'm going to take some more yellow. I want like a medium green now. So I'll grab that yellow. I'll grab some of the Prussian blue. Got a nice medium green. And here again, I'm just going to tap, tap, like all over. Some places down in here. Remember, I still want to keep that hard edge out here. I don't want to play around with that. A little more darker here. Actually, I want to lift up some of the paint here. I want it lighter here and darker over here. And how we lift up the paint, just take a clean brush and you get your paper towel close by and just lift it up. I want to keep that on the lighter side. Go back in and add some of that bright yellow green color because the sun will be coming from this way. So you want the shadows going that way. So I'll go back in and I'll grab some of that bright yellow, mix up some more of that bright green yellow color. There we go. The Prussian blue again, grab some out here, and the yellow. Got a nice deep green. I have a little bit of water on it. Might add it just a touch more. And you can just kind of tap that in right next to the fence. See? It's already looking kind of cool, right? You can literally just take some indigo and put some of that in there too and let it bleed on the bottom here. We're just doing a simple little painting. So see, I've got too much paint all in a row and I don't want to do that. I wanted to have it more sporadic. So I'm going to clean off my brush. See, it looks like all this dark color in a row. I don't want that. So I'm going to lift up some of it. I wanted it some places here and there, but not everywhere. And I'll go back in and I'll take some of this bright yellow green. I'll put that in there. At this point, you can kind of splatter a little bit. I would cover the areas you don't want splattered. I have to move my jars. You hear me moving stuff. So then you could take some nice blues and dark greens and take another brush and you can splatter a little bit. We want the splatter. We don't want it to get all in the sky area. You could turn the paper around if that works better for you. Okay. Creating this little unique. And you can take the indigo blue right from the tube, splatter that in too. Right in the grasses. Just be careful not to get it on the outer edge. There we go. The closer to the paper you got, the tinier the splatter. So we're getting this nice look, right? Might put some up here too, just a little bit. Okay, we're done with that little splatter for now. Again, you could take just the indigo itself and kind of just tap in some dark areas. I wouldn't do too much, like I said. Trying to keep it on the lighter side. At this point, we're going to take a clean brush. I'll take my number 6 again. I'll clean it off. I'm going to get some water on it. And we're going to just kind of put some water going down this way. See, I'm going side to side and then going down this way. You can see the sheen. I didn't hit all the areas. I'm just hitting some of them. Going down this way. Okay, I'm just going to tap it all around. There's a lot of water. You might want to take some of that up. Now we're going to mix up like a grayish tone. So I've got that crimson. I'm mixing it with that green that I have. We have this, well, it's kind of red. And keep adding the blue. that's the indigo blue, and add some yellow. It's like a purple, and it's a brown. I really just want like a gray color, so I'm gonna flip this over here. Take my indigo with that red I was using, so that's purple, and a little yellow. It's like a purpley gray. I added just a touch of the Prussian blue to get it more gray. Now I'm going to water it down. Very, very loose. See that? I'm going to tilt my paper, and I'm just going to put some of that color sporadically around. Just like that. See how I tilted my paper, like 45-degree angle? And then the color's just going to wash down. At this point, you can grab some greens if you want. Some muted greens, some darker greens, and do the same thing. Just tap down. We're creating just this fun, funky. Got that green, going back up in here. Putting some of that color up in there, and then letting it wash down. I'll grab my paper towel if it's washing down too much. See, it's pooling down here, puddling, and I'll just kind of lift that. You could take a paintbrush instead if you didn't want to do that. Kind of go like this. And you could also take your paintbrush. I have my grumbacher 10, just to kind of lift some areas that you don't like, creating like a nice funky texture. Right? See how I lifted that? It's kind of very atmospheric looking. You can go back in and grab some greens. I'm mixing up all kinds of greens over here. I want you guys to have fun, relax. Again, tap that in. And go ahead and grab that indigo blue. I'm mixing it. Again, I might splatter some more color down there. Ooh, 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 ooh. Creating this really funky kind of whole new look. It's kind of like a vignette, but bigger. That's a little wind chime that I have on my desk. Sorry, guys. If you want color at this point, you might want to grab, I have the quinachradone magenta. Although I've got purples going there, so maybe I'll make it more of a purpley kind of floral going in. So I have my grumbacher. I'll just take some of that magenta. I can mix it in with the Prussian blue, get a nice purple going. If you want a little more blue tones. I'll water this down. And then you could add it in, again, a little more splatter, like flowers. See? We're right down in the front in here, front of the fence. Splatter this color in. And what also would be great, if you take the magenta itself, water that down, and you can just kind of drop in some of that. Mine's a little wet. Take some of the excess off. Drop in some of that pretty pink color, just with your brush. Just right over here by the fence. La la la. If this gets a little muddy, you can lift it up like again I showed you, and then go ahead and drop in some of this pink color. So you're creating kind of like a pink bush floral around the little fence. Not all across, just in this section here. So it looks natural. I'm adding in some more pinks. See, I'm just tapping the color in. Indicate a floral bush. And then it would be kind of fun if you just take that magenta again, get it pretty loose. And what am I going to do, of course? Splatter. some down here too. See how cool that's already looking, right? Got this really wild, just kind of like cascading design. Again, while it's still damp around the fence area, you can go and add some deeper colors. I'm going to take some of that blue, purple, just add it in with the green. Just kind of twisting my brush, just like that. When it dries, we can go and add, or even now, you can have with your tip of your brush, you just go up and add some like grasses. Just like that. Just move the brush up a little bit. I might grab a little bit darker blues. You can use a smaller brush if you have no control of this. Just like that. And I might take some darker green, water it down. Just like that. We got this cool little mountain. Again, if it's still dark over here, you're not happy with that, lift it up. I want to put some shadows kind of back here, behind the fence posts. And I might add a little bit of the darker green just up in here. If you want it brighter and lighter here, I would just take some more yellow. That's looking very chartreusey. I would just take the yellow itself and add a nice watered down yellow. Not too much. My brush has got too much on it. But grab some nice watered down yellow. And you can go right on top of the color you had here and just brighten it up. And you can kind of push that paint around while it's still damp down in here too. Just kind of brighten that up. See, I'm adding some yellow green here. You really just want it loose. So for the other mountain, we just indicate really, really, really pale green. I'm going to just paint that little hill on that side. Really want the concentration on this hill. We don't really care about this guy. He's like the bad cousin we don't care about. But I'm making very pale. Just kind of washing in this green. Yes, it's the bad cousin we don't care about, right? We only care about this guy. This guy, it doesn't matter to us. Now, at this point, you could put in a nice sky. You don't have to put in a sky. It's an either or kind of situation. I'm going to add a little bit more darker green over here. Just a touch. Like I said, I just want to keep it mostly this kind of section here. If you want to take some of that green and put some really tall grasses back here. Some green grasses up front here. See, I'm just taking the tip of my brush and just kind of pushing all this grass. Mixing some of this greens. Grab some of the purple and the green. Makes like a nice little brown. Go back here. Gonna put some nice grasses in. Like I said, you don't have to put the sky in. I mean, you might want to put a blue sky in. We'll see. I'm afraid to put it in, but I think I might put it in. And I'm going in and adding in some darker colors next to the fence post. So I'm taking some just Prussian blue, some indigo blue. I like to paint intuitively. I'm just going next to that there, adding those colors. Getting in some purple. It's getting a little darker in here. All right, we don't want to fuss around too much. All right, we're gonna put a watercolor in for the sky. I've got that peacock blue. Putting a lot of water in here. Gonna add a touch of this magenta. So it has that very watered down kind of ultramarine blue. I'm adding more peacock back in. I'll test the color on a strip, see if I like it. And I like it. It's kind of just pale blue. I'll grab more water on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of wash it in the sky. See, I'm just twisting my brush. I got the big number, what is this, number 6. Twisting it for like a blue sky. Can kind of keep going in and adding some more blue. But I don't want too much of a sky. Right, I'm going to keep adding a little more blue. See how I'm just kind of like wiggling around the brush for the sky. I might get the sky touching the mountain over here, but not over here. Adding a little bit more of that magenta. And a little more blue. Just to brighten it up. See, kind of wiggling it. Get those bluish clouds. Not too crazy. Get a little bit darker in here in the middle. I'm going to grab some more magenta. So get some purple kind of tones coming in here. Just adding in some more clouds that way. But it's not too cloudy because it's a sunny day. So I'm going to take my paper towel. See, there's a hard edge right here. I'm going to get some water on my brush, clean off my brush, touch the edge of that. I can lift it up and grab it, kind of take it, or I could take the paper towel and kind of tap it where I wet the area. And this way I can go in here and kind of lift up some paint too. So it's cloudy, but not very cloudy. Certain areas, right? Gonna have fun with that sky. All right, so at this point we're gonna let it dry. We're gonna lift up this masking fluid, and then we're gonna go from there. So now that that's done, take my rubber cement pickup, which is what I use to pick up my masking fluid. So we're gonna have this really white fence. We'll go back in and add some shadow so it doesn't look so white. I mean, this one kind of messed up a little bit here, but kind of cool, right? That looks great. All right, now that that's dry, see it's very, very white. We're gonna have to put some grays there because it's gonna look strange. I have my Princeton number 6 Velvet Touch Series brush. So we have this, what do we have? Prussian blue here. Can grab some of that magenta, some yellow. Makes like a nice little gray. Gonna water it down a bit. I have my paper towel here. I always kind of tap it on my paper towel first. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that wash on the side here. Just on the right side. You can put a little bit on top too. And that would get a little bit darker as you get to the bottom. This one's kind of made a boo-boo, but that's kind of fine though. A little darker. can get even darker if you want to just kind of outline it too. Depends on how you want to do this. See, I'm kind of outlining some of them. Some of them get lost over this section here, so I'll kind of outline it with that gray. Or you could take a pen. I'm grabbing a little bit more of the blue here. Still kind of leaving most of this front part white because of the, you want the sun kind of indicating that it's shining on it. So at this point, we can go in and grab, I have my yellow here. Yellow with my Prussian blue, minimal water. Can put in some more grasses going up on that fence. Just like that. Get real detail if you want to. Add a little more grasses in the front. Mixing up all these blues and yellows and getting some grays and some browns. I love all the bits in the palette. You guys got to play with that. This is the money. That's what I call it. Grabbing all the different color paints that you have all kind of sporadically everywhere and making all these browns and blues and greens. And that is the money. Yeah, I'm going to put that color on the side. It was like a green, dark gray. But that's the money, as I call it. All the bits. So I'm just putting in some grasses. Simply like that. Got this darker. And then I'll grab a darker gray again and just go in and outline the fence even more. Just outline it. And that's pretty much it. If you want to go and add, like, again, some more of this, I have the magenta, the purple, or the blues. I have all these purpley blue colors, kind of all over the place. See this? Kind of like that, though, guys. And you just tweak it. Now, if you got all lost in here, which it most likely did, this is when you grab, I always say to have on your little staple here. Of course, now I'm going to tell you about it, and I don't have it next to me. And I have about 5 tubes of the white gouache. Comes in handy. Got a little white gouache here. You just take a little white gouache, water it down, and you can just kind of put little white flowers. See? You want to mix this white gouache with any color. You can mix it with that magenta, and you get the pale pink, and that can go right on top. I showed you guys in that last tutorial how you can do that. If all you have is white gouache, you can mix it with some of your watercolors, and then you get that lighter color pink that now can go on top of this. See? And then you can do the same thing with the yellow. There's some yellow and white. Then you have this pretty floral going on top of all this, or you just take the white itself. And also you could just splat that. Get that really loose. Splat that area. So that looks kind of cool. It's just a fun and relaxing thing to do, you know. You tweak it all the way you want to tweak it, adding some darker colors, some lighter colors. Got the Prussian blue right in there. Adding some nice streaks. But it's just generally like in this one section, kind of like a vignette like we did with the, I have a bunch of vignettes. You want to just keep it simple and sweet. And you didn't have to do the cross. I didn't do like the cross of the fence. But now I'm looking at it, maybe I would want to have done that, and I could have just added like a little gouache. Or because it's a white fence, you have to see with the metal, you know. I'm going to make a nice, almost like black color. Where's the red? You do that, the middle line that goes across. They're connecting them. See that? And on the bottom too. And there you go. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Just trying to figure out some nice stress-free kind of fun things to do. that are different, you know, and unusual. You could have, like I said, you could have just done straight across and then add a nice blue water, and it could have been a nice scene for like an ocean scene. But I kind of want to keep it springy and floral. You know, I might go back in and add some bright, oops, goodness, more flowers up here that I didn't, and over here. And if you wanted, you could have put masking fluid in here, make some bright blooms that we didn't do, like we did with the meadow. See, I'm just going in and adding some more bright pink in here. There's so many things you can do with this. Just go in here and tap that in. Just a nice pink splotch of color. I want you guys to have fun. It's been so stressful. I've been stressed out like a madman. I can't even tell you what's going on in my world right now. A lot. I'm doing a commission, and I'm doing, I'm filming something for a project. So I'm a little crazy right now. So yeah, as I'm talking to you, I'm just keep playing and adding yellows and whatnot, and greens. So guys, have fun. Enjoy. Don't stress out about it. Go crazy. Splatter away and see what you come up with. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and take care, and I'll speak to you soon.